Now, I just have to preface this before we start. This is one of the most insane, short, little arcs I have ever read. From ball shots to gangs of little people. Garth Ennis went all out with the carnage on this one. The Punisher and Wolverine are both very similar characters in that they can inflict some serious damage to their enemies. And they're some of the only Marvel heroes that are willing to actually kill their foes. But if you didn't know, they actually hate each other, because they both think each other is wrong in their actions, which couldn't be more hypocritical, from both sides. But what happens when, in an issue of the Punisher titled Vertical Challenge, they both end up investigating the same crime, which is people all across New York City are being mutilated, and they happen to run into each other, and eventually begin accusing each other of said crime. And so begins one of the most violent, brutal brawls in the history of Marvel Comics. After stumbling onto a crime scene of legless bodies, Punisher follows the trail underground. While in a bar across town, Wolverine starts a bar brawl, cause obviously he does. But during the fight he hears a chainsaw and discovers a hatch leading underground with some chopped off legs in front of it. About 2 hours and a lot of crawling later, the two happen upon a warehouse, and then Wolverine spots Frank, and all hell breaks loose. He slices at his arm, gashing it open. Frank rolls away and pumps his face full of hot lead, leaving him disfigured and tongueless. Wolverine is so unbelievably mad right now. He swats the gun away, swinging wildly at his arms, chest and face. But the pair are being secretly watched by some unseen figures. But Frank is down and Wolverine begins to monologue, but he has no tongue, so it's not very effective. And he also makes a very cheesy punchline, which I'm not gonna repeat. Frank tries to attack, but Wolverine's too strong, blasting him through a wall. Frank finds a bat and gets ready to hit a home run, but that's not gonna hurt Wolverine. His bones are adamant. Yep, no, that definitely hurt Wolverine. As he's down, Frank spots a jerry can and begins to drench the smelly Canadian. This should end him once and for all. But someone from the shadows screams stop, and the pair both stop what they're doing and head towards a now shining light. A voice is screaming, "The mob will finally wither and die, just as soon as we cut them down to size." The Punisher and Wolverine have just walked into a small operation where little people have been chopping the legs off of people around New York to make them the same height as them. What the fuck? And that's when it clicks with Wolverine. It wasn't Frank at all. Yeah, he's a bit slow, but not when it comes to maiming motherfuckers. And Frank is the same, as he bats them away like flies. They want to fight alongside them against the corrupt world, but Frank and Logan couldn't give a fuck. And are actually just enjoying themselves. But they begin to get overrun. There's just too many of them. And that's when their boss introduces himself, Tony Casino. His brother was Tommy Casino, the known mob boss, but he hated him because he treated him badly all his life. But he's gone now. The Punisher got to him, so he's here to thank Frank and offer him a partnership. But he doesn't care at all and starts making fun of Logan, saying they're the only people in the world that's shorter than him, calling him Shorty. Wolverine obviously goes ballistic and charges at Frank, but Frank uses the little men as shields. Oh god, this is horrific. And while one of them is stuck on Logan's claws, Frank picks up another and starts swinging him around like a little wrecking ball. Oh my god. I can't believe this got published. But when they're done having their fun, they both run as the gang begins shooting at them. They duck behind a machine and Wolverine says to Frank that his plan back there was good. They should both keep going. Frank just shot Wolverine in the balls, telling him they'll grow back, and then running away and leaving him to the little men. They hold the Canadian down and begin to saw into his legs, but the chainsaw breaks, because obviously it does. His bones are literally unbreakable metal. And that's when Frank comes running back like the best friend he is, with all his guns, killing everyone, distracting the boss, and giving Wolverine the perfect chance at revenge, leaving him even shorter than before. And after all the dust settles and Frank kills the rest of them, he returns to old Logan, where Logan promises to kill the Punisher in the worst ways imaginable, but leaving him back there. But Frank's not listening at all and begins driving a steamroller towards Logan. It's like something out of Final Destination, as he crawls away screaming, saying it's Frank's last chance or else, but he doesn't care. As he slowly and painfully crushes old Knucklehead for good, leaving only his claws uncrushed, and then he just strolls away as if nothing ever happened. Well everyone, I hope you liked that story. I know it was absolutely insane, but I enjoyed it. It would never be able to be made these days. There's no way it would get past editorial. And obviously Wolverine's not dead, he comes back a million times, but I thought it was a fun little story. Let me know what you thought. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.